Holy man, 2024 had went by really fast, and it's already coming to an end. So throughout this year, a lot of things happened. VRAIL put some more Siemens chargers into service, and one of them being the Lumi set. CN rebuilt some of their SD75Is into the new ACCs. CN rebuilt more AC44C exams, but this time from the BNSF. CP bought more GFOs in the CPKC Pink scheme and already put them into service. And Go Transit put one of the refurbished old cab cars into service, and that being 214. And of course there's a lot more things happened, such as the Union Pacific derailment, YDHR going out of service due to bankruptcy, a lot of crossing belt replacements such as Princess Street and Leech Road, and of course the many rail trains that I caught throughout this year. Well, since it's New Year's Eve, it's time for me to do the annual video that I usually do on New Year's Eve. And that is the top 10 trains of 2024. And let me tell you, this year's list is going to be really hard because I caught a lot of insane catches. And thanks to a lot of research with my friends, I think I know what they are. And not like for other years, there will be some passenger trains on this list, because let me tell you, I saw some unusual stuff with our passenger trains, so that's why I'm going to include them onto this list. So sit back, relax, and let's go through the top 10 trains of 2024. So let's get started. Number 10. The P12 running onto the Barrel subdivision. So on Friday, December 20th, I got word about something really unusual running onto the Barrel subdivision. And it's not a freight train, it's a VRAIL. This is the P12, coming from the maintenance center in Toronto and it's heading to Buffalo. They're running to Buffalo to pick up a unit that was broken down. And instead of having a locomotive leading on the northbound run, a passenger car was leading it. You can hear the air whistle that is coming from it. And of course 6407 was blowing its horn too. Seeing a VRAIL reversing down the barrel sub is something that you don't see every day, that's for sure. Then 2.5 hours later, the P12 came back. But this time, 6455 was at the end of the train. And that's the unit that broke down on VRAIL 1. The reason they are going slow is that because they actually have a 25 mile per hour speed restriction. So yeah, seeing a VRAIL equipment move on the barrel sub is definitely a great highlight to 2024, even though this was taken near the end of the year.
Number 9.
The KCS Safety Starts Here unit on CP112. So on Saturday, March 9th, I got word about something really unusual on CP112. It goes from Port Coquitlam, BC to Montreal. It has CP8001 reading, but the surprise is at the end of the train. It has KCS 4859 as rear DPU, which is the Safety Starts Here unit. And I've been trying to get this unit for a while now. Every time it runs under the MAC tier sub, it comes at night. But not this time. It's really cool to see a Safety Starts Here unit. And this is why it's a highlight to 2024. My next goal is to see KCS 4009 and 4006, because these two are veterans units. It'll be really cool to see an American veteran unit, that's for sure. Alright, let's move on. Number 8. a classic duo on CN X314. So on Friday, May 3rd, I saw something really cool on CN X314. It goes from Lower Banks, BC, and it's heading to Brampton Intermodal Terminal. It had BC rare 4649 leading and 2504 trailing second. Seeing a BC Rail lead with a 9WL trailing second actually reminds me of the good days of CN. Nowadays, you've been seeing GFOs leading on these cross-country intermodal trains. So this is definitely a really rare catch, that's for sure. And it's another great highlight to 2024. Alright, let's move on. Number 7. Rail power on CN A451. So on Monday, May the 6th, CN A451, which goes from Trotter to North Bay, came by on the Bella sub with some rail power. It had 2 KKIX units trailing 3rd and 4th. It's really cool to see some KKIX units, especially when one of them is a switcher unit. This last shot wouldn't be much better if 2510 was leading, but oh well. I've seen a lot of 9WL leaders throughout this year. But all in all, this 451 is a really great highlight to this year as well. Alright, let's move on, shall we? Number 6. ONR 1603 returning to North Bay from Oxbridge. So on Tuesday, April 23rd, an event happened in Oxbridge. And that being ONR 1603, which is a GP9, is starting its trip back to North Bay from Oxbridge after working on the YDHR for the past year. I even caught it leading Oxbridge for the final time. And that was at 12:50 p.m. 1603 would run to Lincolnville that day. Then on Sunday, May 26th at 2 a.m., CN L546 will make a rare appearance on the Oxbridge sub to Lincolnville to pick up 1603. Of course I didn't see it at the time because it was way too late for me, unfortunately. But at least I was able to see it running under its own power on the Oxbridge sub, that's for sure. I even did a chase with 1603 at some crossings where it doesn't get used at all. The last spot I saw it was at Goodwood. And unfortunately, that was the only video that I filmed with the YDHR. It's honestly such a shame to see, that's for sure. Like I mentioned, the YDHR was shut down due to bankruptcy. So unfortunately, ever since 1603 went on the Oxbridge sub, no trains have ran up that since. Well, except for GO trains stay on South LOL. Sometime after, it was picked up on CN L517 in Oshawa, and then on Wednesday, May 29th, it went on CN A451 to North Bay. It really sucks to see that 1603 is going back to North Bay. But I'm really happy that ONR is still using it. But all in all, seeing 1603 returning back to North Bay is another great highlight to this year as well. And that video of 1603 heading to Lincolnville was pretty popular too. It almost has 5,000 views and 110 likes. So thank you so much everyone for supporting that video. Much appreciated. Anyways, let's move on, shall we? Number 5. All foreign power on CP112. So on Sunday, April 21st, my friends and I made an unplanned trip to a MacTier sub. CP112 was coming. Like I mentioned, it goes from Port Coquitlam, BC to Montreal. But not only that, It didn't have any CP or KCS power, so basically it was all foreign power here. CN 2827 was leading the train, which is a GFO, and I actually saw 2827 a few times on the Bella too. For a mid-DPU is something really unusual. A Max SD70 ACE, which is a railroad in Mexico, and that being 4027. And for real DPU is Union Pacific 8200, which is a GFO. Out of the three units, the Max really stood out to us. And that's why the CPKC 112 is another great highlight to this year as well. Even though we were threatened by a maintenance of way driver before the train showed up.
Have a nice crowd down here. There's a whole herd of suspicious looking people hanging around.
Alright, let's stop talking about that and let's move on. We are halfway there, we got 5 more trains to go, so let's move on, shall we? And if you're enjoying this so far, then please make sure to give it a really big thumbs up. Number 4. A BC Rail duo on CN X314. So on Friday, December 27th, CN X314, which is an actual one mixed train coming from Winnipeg and is heading to the Macmillan Yard in Toronto, came by on the Bella sub with a BC Rail duo. You never see this every day, that's for sure. It had 46-46 leading and 46-48 trailing second. And let me tell you, 46-46 has an awesome mechanical bell. I'm really glad that the engineer turned it on for us. This lash-up reminds me of the good days of BC Rail, and this train was originally supposed to come at night, but however due to train needs and signal problems up north, X314 managed to come by Bloomington Go after 8 AM. Thank goodness for these delays, LOL. Even though I was at Bloomington Go since 2:30 in the morning. But all in all, this is a really great highlight to 2024. One of the great catches to end this year off. Alright, let's move on, shall we? Number 3. Southern Pacific unit on CN E271. So on Tuesday, November 19th, I got word about something really rare on CN E271. It's a westbound all-direct train coming from Montreal and it's heading to Better Creek, Michigan. It had 5670 reading, but get this. Trailing second behind that, it had an Southern Pacific unit, and that being Union Pacific 6236. That unit was in the Southern Pacific Pink Scheme. And let me tell you, it's extremely rare to see this in Ontario. This is also my first time seeing some foreign power on the York sub as well. But all in all, getting an Southern Pacific unit on CN E271 is another great highlight of this year as well. Alright, let's move on. Number 2. A colorful CN L568. So on Friday, May 10th, I had to go to Kitchener for a business trip. But while I was there, I was able to catch CN L568 with a colorful lash-up. It had GTW 6420 reading, BNSF 2926 trailing second, which is a green unit, and trailing third is BNSF 2090. Like I mentioned last year, CN borrowed some of the BNSF units for local trains. And I was able to catch this slash up 3 times as a matter of fact. The first time when they pulled through a crossing, the second time when they were reversing back into the yard to collect some more cars. And then finally the third time when they were departing Kitchener bound for Stratford. Unfortunately, 2926 recently went back to the States on M399. So all in all, seeing this L568 is another great highway to this year as well. Hopefully I can see more L568s in the future. Originally, this was going to be the #1 train for this year. But however though, something better took its place. What do you think it is? Well, let's find out, shall we? But before I show you the #1 train for this year though, here are some very honorable mentions that didn't make it onto this countdown. And let me tell you, there's a lot of them. Too bad I'm not at the tracks, but I'm glad I'm seeing it in the distance.
Yeah, no, at least we saw the map, just not the way we hoped.
Yeah, indeed. As with today, 5707 is getting a rebuild. Fun fact, this was originally supposed to be on the number 5 spot, but half of the BC Rail duo took its place. Wow, that was a big honorable mentions list, isn't it? Now it's time to finally show you the number 1 train for this year. So drumroll please. So, the number 1 train of 2024 that I caught is Long Hood Forward's Light Power. 2 GFOs are running Light Power and Long Hood Forwards to get back to its train after 107 donated a unit. It's not every day you see GFOs that are Long Hood Forwarding Light Power on the ballot sub. But let's just say I tricked you. This is not the number 1 train that I caught. This is just another honorable mention. Oh, so they're coming. Already for real. Drumroll please. So for real, the number 1 train of 2024 that I caught is Local Power leading on the main line. So on Tuesday, December 3rd, CN X314 came by. It's making a run from the Macmillan Yard Trotter to Huntsville. It has something really unusual leading. A GP40-2LW, that being 9639. It's not every day that you see Local Power running onto the main line. $451 is going up to Huntsville because there's some freight that has to go there, and the tracks north of Huntsville is blocked due to a bad snowstorm. So that's why they ran a GP4D on the ballot sub. And this train is the main reason why this is the number 1 catch of 2024. The downside about this, it came at night. But at least it didn't come too late though. But other than that though, this is a really big highlight of 2024. Well everyone, that concludes the top 10 trains of 2024 that I caught. One thing's for sure, I had another successful year of rare fanning. I've met a lot more people, went to new spots I haven't been to before, I hit a lot more milestones such as 5,000 subscribers, and I caught a lot more rare stuff. Before I go for the year, I had to say a huge thank you to everyone for a successful year. I really appreciate that you're watching my videos, giving me really good feedback, and supporting this channel. This is the main reason why I'm going out to rare fan, because of you. Even though it's costing me a lot of money for fuel. But I really don't mind. You are really helping to keep this channel running, so I really appreciate that. But once again, thank you so much everyone for the support this year. I really appreciate that. With another year done, what will 2025 will bring us next year? Well, I guess we will have to wait and see. Well, this video is over, so thank you so much for watching as usual. If you enjoyed this, then please make sure you give this video a really big thumbs up, and subscribe for more videos if you haven't already. That will really help me a lot. And with 2024 wrapped up, it's time for me to say this before I go for a year. Happy New Year everyone, and have a safe and happy 2025.